Ankh, unleash your mic. What's up, Kent?
Yeah. I'm gonna send that link. Pseudo killers, where they at?
Yeah, shoot, yeah, send them the link. Send them the link. Shout out to brother, say brother, Baba Greg. Peace and love to you, Baba Greg. I missed you, brother Baba Greg. I haven't seen you. I think it was I haven't seen you in about a week live. But peace and love to you. He said, "Hold top, Doctor, my aunt, and and family, Uhuru Sasa." That's right, freedom now. And I see the Queen Mother Rashamela is in the building. Peace and love to you. So glad, sister, that you got Zion in the Uhuru Academy. I'm looking forward to working
What do you
with
say?
you
Do
on
the cha
Monday.
cha? What
Hold on,
happened?
let me put you on mute. There you go. So shout out to Sister Rashamela. I don't know what Brother Ankh is talking about, but shout out to Sister Rashamela. I see that you got Zion in the Uhuru Academy. Appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to his participation in the UACI Winter STEM Camp. And so peace to you, Queen. Who else is this? Let me see. Kent said, let's get it. Kent said, let's get it. I see my sister Marcia Penda's in the building. Peace and love to you. And then I see Alex Torres, peace and love to you. Detro, peace and love to you. And that, Ankh, these your people coming in, because some of these people, I don't know, Ankh. Some of these are your folks, huh?
Yeah,
Did
I'm
you go
double stick.
live?
Yeah, I'm live. Yep.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
live.
okay. Yeah, I want to say some of your folks
They know
are
you.
live.
They know you.
They said right here, Tim Jones said, glad to see you, Brother Ankh. I know Brother Ankh been hiding, Tim Jones. I don't know what's going on with Brother Ankh. He been hiding from me. I've been calling him. You've been leaving me on red, ghosting me. I'm just playing, guy. I'm just playing.
Wow.
I'm just playing, Ankh. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Yeah, these are your people coming in, but peace and love to the family. But y'all know I had to run and go get Ankh. All of us are aware by now, at least, that Billy Carson had a debate with Wesely Huff, and it went everywhere. And I think, Brother Ankh, do you think that it went viral more so because of the debate, or do you think because of all of the drama that came after the debate? What are your thoughts on that?
It's the power of the Christians, yo. They have a well organized lie, and they stick together. They thick as thieves. So they run in packs like that. And when they find somebody they can get, they go ahead and get them. But I would actually say they put a hit on the conscious community. Okay. And I've been seeing this for a few years now. They was coming after the actual pseudo information that was kind of, pulling people out of Christianity. Okay. So
Okay.
like the first person, let me pause that, right? Big up to Wesely Muhammad, right? So Wesely Muhammad was actually the first person that actually dove in on the conscious community, and I said, and they was running like flies.
You told me, and I think then you say he used to go by another name. I forgot the name he used to go
Yeah,
by.
True Islam.
True Islam. That's what.
They was running like, I was like, why is everybody running? They was actually scared to sit down and converse or debate, whatever it was. People was counseling debates. I mean, the ones that consider themselves to be tough. So I did like this, Doc. I say,
They was hiding from Dr. Wesely Muhammad.
What I'm saying is, I'm glad I was at the point where one bubbling bump, but I was around thick. I was around real thick. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I was smart enough to say, what he made me realize was that the thing I was talking about, I wasn't ready for that level. See, nobody was willing to admit that they wasn't ready for that level he had. I was like, how's he fighting like that? What is he doing? Right? We talked to Asar and them. We was like, yeah, he's using academia. Yeah, right. And so that I was like, bet. I said, yeah, but he adding the spikes onto it. I knew it, right? Okay, but what it was, it got me prepared for these moments right here. Right. So for the last 15 years or so, right, I've been making sure that you'll see, if you follow me, you'll see a shift in what I'm doing where I tightened up on my science and scientific literacy. Right. I got completely literate in science. Okay. I got I understood academic sources. Right. I recognized what I was saying couldn't be matched with this, and that, because Wesely shouldn't have been able to run through them like that. And he ran through them like a hot knife through butter.
I remember.
Simple as that. And I was like, and based off what Wesely did, right? I was like, yo, we gotta do something. And we put together the Raw squad. So the Raw squad, right, was actually built to deal with True Islam and them. Most people don't know that history right there. And I say all that to say that Billy and them wasn't ready.
Wasn't
ready. The Christians been put a hit. Remember they debated Jabari and them?
Yes, I
right.
remember
And they exes out the debate.
Yep, I
Right?
remember
They
that.
did what they were supposed to do. Push them out, push them non-believers out the way, and let me section you off. Let's get polite. Let's get Jabari in them. And they did that. And so they,
I
they
remember.
write like, with the whole man. So with the whole 16 crucified saviors, that
Yeah,
particular
I
work,
remember. I remember that
right?
work, that book. Mm-hmm.
All right, they smashed that out. There's some things that's right in that text, but some things it's not. It's not actually a scholarly work. So they focus on all the mistakes that the pseudo community was making. My fault, the conscious community was making, right?
I call it the unconscious community now. I call it the
Yeah,
unconscious.
but it was
Mhm.
good that
Right.
Wesley had shined that light like that, right? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
was good. I think Natural Tahuti's the only one that really stepped up,
Yeah.
right?
I remember that debate he did with Dr.
I only
Wesley.
one that really. Everybody else was scared to death running. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I got enough sense to know. I was like, man, that fighting style right there. I said, what I got, I'm not prepared for that. And as I looked in the mirror, I was just embarrassed. I was like, man, I got this wrong like that.
Mhm.
Seriously, I'm like, man, yo. So I had to make a shift. So let that be a lesson for everybody, yo.
Mhm.
You never too smart to learn something. And sometimes when you see something, you got to know how to just say, all right, I got to get better. So now you see this package right here. This package right here is ready, right, for all religions.
You
Yeah,
ready? All
yeah,
right.
right.
I
Science
believe
is,
it. I believe it.
science is undefeated, right? I don't put a value system on people's religion, right? I think all religions and all spiritual systems are basically the same. They're cultural, social systems devised by people in certain geographical regions,
Teach on.
right? You know what I'm saying? They inform and instruct you on what you're supposed to do in that particular environment. I understand that. So Islam is no better than Christianity. Judaism is no better than the Dogon spiritual system, okay, which is no better than the Nostroms spiritual system, which is no better than South African Khoisan. Cool. My favorite deity is Kulu Kulu amongst the Zulu.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Let me give you a little pushback on that. When you say no better, qualify that. Because I would say when I think of I'm gonna let you qualify it. I'm not gonna give you qualify what you mean by it's no better. What do you mean
Meaning
by
it's
that?
it informs and instructs people.
Okay,
Okay,
in that context.
and so it's the word I want to use. It's subjective.
Okay, so that's
So
what you
so
mean
since
by
I'm always centered in Africa, I like the indigenous African
that's
systems.
okay, and that's what I was getting ready to say. With these systems,
I love it.
okay, all right. Okay.
Right, but I mean, you at a certain point you got to recognize that it's all belief in all religion, and then we big up the Andy. We got Dr. Andy coming on too. He's an evolutionary psychologist,
Mhm.
right? And we talk about our religion. Okay, we talk about how early humans with their Stone Age brain, we was adapted to believe. Right, that's what you do. We believe as the brain developed for us. We developed to the point we believe because it helped us. Yeah, I always talk about in the savannah in the high grasses. When the high grasses move, okay, you don't got time to get scientifically analytic. Oh yeah, let me see, let me know. That's not no. You've been and got ate up,
Right,
right? If you're walking down a path, right, and the leaves rustle, you're gonna jump.
right.
Right down to this day, that holds with us, right? And so that's based off of evolution. Okay, the same thing with we upstairs, right? In your house, 2 o'clock at night, and something go boom, right? You're gonna grab the gun.
Damn right I am.
Right, right. Okay, you go downstairs, it was just a tree that fell through the glass.
Right. Right.
See? So we're
Right.
actually wired, we're very susceptible to religions, right? So we're hardwired to believe, and religions co-opt that. Most people don't get that. So I understand. So what I'm saying is all people have different types of beliefs. And amongst those people that have beliefs, you're going to have a certain segment, a small portion of the population that does not believe that. It's always been the game,
Right.
right? And so my point is, if you study world religions, it's beautiful because you learn about different cultures.
Yeah.
And for another person, right, to come at a person and say that my religion is better than yours, now we got colonialism, because that was the impetus of colonialism. That we're going to take you to Christ, right? And those who are not Christian, we can enslave them.
Right.
And the
That's
reason
right.
for our enslaving them, okay, is to bring them to Christ,
Come on. The Portuguese talked about it. The
right?
Portuguese talked about that.
Papa's bulls, we talk about
Come
all
on.
the time.
Yes.
Now, these apologetics will say, these are the statements they will say, well, they wasn't practicing real Christian. They weren't real. Wait a minute. How am I to know who's the real Christians? There's no one real Christianity.
Teach Ankh.
Right. I'm saying that Christianity is a religion. And the problem with it is you got different segments of it. That's an issue. And then you can look at the same book and come up with a whole different interpretation.
Facts.
Right. So you blame the people that practice the religion. Ain't my fault.
That's right.
So if you're saying that's not the Christianity, that's not it. But wait a minute. We always make a stance and say it's the white man's Christianity. No, it's not. Wait a minute. My grandmother got the whiterized Christianity. Simple as that. Your great grandmother got the Christianity that was whiterized. We can go to the 16th chapel with God. They drew a picture of God. Don't look like you. Don't look like me.
That's right. Teach
and God got a finger and he pointed and he touched Adam's hand. He gave him the breath of life. Hey, two white people. Leonardo da Vinci is a great artistic work. That's imagery. When you go to the 16th chapel, when you go to these different churches, these mega churches, European churches, they got beautiful stained glass windows. Okay, European. So don't tell me Christianity is not the white man's Christianity, because it is. Now that everybody got a little educated, a little slick, then they want to go back to the origin of Christianity. My great grandmother, the slaves never got that branch.
No, never.
They got the Portuguese, the Spaniards, and the other European. They got colonized, whiterized Christianity. So now we want to make Jesus black. Now we want to know they did not get the Palestine Christianity. As a matter of fact, at the Nicene Council, right? There were a lot of different people at these councils, specifically the Council of Nicaea. Most people messed this up. It actually had nothing to do with making Christianity. They messed that up. It was actually, they was dealing with Arius, and they was fighting. They was fighting over whether Jesus Christ was created or not. Now I'm thinking in my mind, why would you have to fight over that? Don't you know? Didn't God tell you? You don't know? So they was talking over the nature of Christ. Was he created with God in the beginning? Did God create him in the beginning? Right? Or was he in there with the beginning, not created? So Arius, being a North African, was arguing that he was created, but with God, right? Right? And the other contingent was arguing that no, he was always in the beginning and he wasn't created. Well, anyway, they anastasized him. I don't even know if I said the word right. Excommunicated him. Yeah, that's the word. They excommunicated him. He's like,
they got him out of there. They got him out of there.
Got out of here. So, man, but this is the history that we don't know. The conscious community messed up. They said that's when they made Jesus, made him a virgin, made his mother virgin. No, that's not. That's misinformation. Right. So we definitely prepared for the conversation. And they said, well, why would you take off Billy? Ain't he a pseudo? He's a super pseudo.
Absolutely.
But whether you know it or not, that's always the bridge. That's the bridge to get you out of the Christianity. That's the bridge we took.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me interject. Did you hear people on both ends? Oh, Wesely Huff won. Billy Carson won, and you hear people going back and forth on that. I didn't watch the entire debate.
Yeah, I watched.
And so, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like it was aha moments on both sides, or do you feel like Billy got his tail kicked, or do you feel like Wes got his tail kicked? What are your thoughts about it?
They both were scamming. The Europeans just had a high level scam going. You get my point? Like, listen.
I can't listen with you.
Listen, we got the whole thing, pseudo killers. Big up to all the pseudo killers. Big up to the community skeptics. We're skeptical around here. So as I'm looking at it, I already see that Billy is over top of his skis. He makes a mistake and claims he's an expert, but you're talking to a person who's working on his doctorate. He understands textual critique. He understands what an expert is. He understands archaeology. And you slip and say you're an expert, and they joke him for it. Now, Billy is an expert in his own beliefs, right?
Yes, he is in his own
beliefs. All religions have beliefs, and they made up. Billy thing just made up recently. Christianity is made up 2,000 years ago, but it's all made up by human beings. Not unless you sitting there thinking that the sky cracked open and the books fell out. Boom. That's not real, right? And so we have, based off of being enslaved, we have placed value on Christianity. So to answer your question, you'll say he got beat up. Yeah, he lost some points, but it was some points that he actually got off and nobody actually noticed it. It's some points that quote unquote Wes straight up outright lied. Like I talked about the book of Barnabas. and how he talked about how the book of
Oh,
Barnabas.
I want to get the clips. We want to get the clips. You got the clips locked and loaded?
I got clips, but I don't know if I got the clips about the book of Barnabas. I don't think I got that on it, but I
All right,
got
well,
some clips.
build on the book of Barnabas. Build on that. But I want
So
you to
the
start
book of
evidence.
Barnabas is a forgery, and I think it's a more recent forgery, but it's a forgery. We know what a forgery is, right? So Wes got him right there. But Wes got to say also, we do know that we have forgeries in the biblical text too. He didn't say that. So you cheating. Right? So ancient forgery, they didn't look at it the same way as we look at like today. That's a forgery, meaning the person that you think wrote and put his name on it didn't actually write it. That's a forgery. So the African American community do not know that this text was actually put together. Okay. And Matthew, Mark, and Luke didn't actually write Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And if you don't think Christianity was whiterized, Matthew, Mark, and Luke are European names, or not, or I'm just tripping.
No, you ain't tripping. You ain't tripping. And love you too. I see Kent Logan. He said, "We love you, Doc. Love you too." Dr. Dennis Assault Winkler's in the building. Salute to you. Salute to you. But so on, keep on building though. So that was one instant. And you told me that you felt like he was where Wes Huff was being disingenuous because Billy was bringing up the book of Barnabas to justify what? What was the give us some context?
He was trying to say that Jesus didn't have a wife and all that, but there was texts that said he may have had a wife. And what I'm saying is, then you'll start looking at these councils, not in the Sin Council, big up the Garfield, right? And you'll see that they start to have these councils where they start to codify the Bible. It's called canonize the Bible, meaning they're picking and choosing which ones they feel like is more accurate to the story.
They're ecumenical councils.
Absolutely. Okay. So they put it together. So it's not like it's one written book. We all of us think that. It's not that. Right. It's put together in bits and pieces, written at different time periods. The book of Revelation is actually written before the book of Genesis. There's two aspects to the book of Genesis. You know what I'm saying? What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Go back. What do you say?
No, you say with that atheism. Keep building. Keep building.
No, see, we're going to talk about that for a second. But my point is that in the book of Genesis, you have two creation stories running simultaneously. They call it the Elohim and the Yahweh story. Okay, so it's all in the game and it's put together. And to think that the book came fully functional is wild. None of us, and I'm going to say this again, none of us has ever read the Bible. There is no facsimile. A facsimile is a direct copy from the original. There was no chapters and verses in the biblical text. It was on papyri. As a matter of fact, Wes showed him. He was like, "Aha! I got it right here." Right. So he was actually up against it. Billy was up against it. He was on, and if you up against it, you gotta know how to reset yourself in that type of situation. And he wasn't able. But the things he said, it was a lot. He was right. Like the Enema Elish, right? The Epic of Gilgamesh. That's the oldest flood story written documentation. He said that, but he didn't know how to quite bring that home. So Wes is trying to act like he can show empirical data that there was actually a flood. No, you can't, Wes. You have a theological truth, which is different from a scientific truth. A scientific truth. Right. So a theological truth is it's true based off of the religion. Two different things. Now, if Wes tries to represent his theological truth as a fact-based, evidence-based, scientific-based, now he's pseudo. So see, Wes is actually a pseudo, right? The resurrection. Okay. There's no scientific evidence that Jesus Christ defeated physics. Walked on water, did all that's not that you can't represent it like that. Now it is a theological truth, and it's also maybe right a historical truth that a person named Jesus Christ, what it would have been called Jesus Christ, they call him Yahshua, right? May have existed because the name Yahshua is a basic name. It's like Bobby.
Right, got you.
Nothing special about that. Everybody was waiting for the Savior to be born. Everybody named their kid Yahshua, like everybody named their kid Jordan in the 80s. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so he's sitting there getting on Billy while doing the same things. His thing just was well organized. I always say a well organized lie defeats a disorganized truth.
So he
so that's what that was. So yeah, Billy is wild, but he wild for us. He's somebody we gonna get him. So if you outside with your brother and your sister and they wrong, You don't correct them out there. You bring them on in and you correct them. So I'm not sitting there watching this thing, no matter how wild Billy is, because he's wild.
He is
right?
wild. He is
Letting
wild.
somebody who's even wilder with a well-organized lie pseudo Billy to death. Did he deserve it? Yeah. But I can't, it ain't in my heart. I love black people to death. I love African Americans to death. It's not in my heart. Right now, when I'm fighting against Billy and all that, that's what it's supposed to. Everybody get out the way. But when somebody else come in, right, with a dedicated lie like that, okay, I gotta step in. I just don't see it the way everybody see it. So I'm gonna make it clear.
No.
I'm gonna make it clear.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that Billy said that he was right. Okay, there's a lot of cultural borrowings going on. Not unless you think they just in the middle, they're in the Middle East and the story diving everybody head. That doesn't even make sense.
They just diving.
They pop up and start telling the story. Come on, man. It's literacy. As a matter of fact, the ancient the proto-Sinaitic writing comes out of the ancient what we say, the Meta Nature, right? So God didn't even have his own written script. Come up out of the Egyptian script, proto-Sinaitic Canaanite script, okay, Phoenician, okay, then you get the Old Hebrew, right? And then you get the Hebrew. So God didn't have his own, quote unquote, as they say, written script. It came up out of the ancient Egyptian writing system. You can follow it, right? So yeah, for me, people got on me. Why you trying to defend it? I'm not defending the wildness of Billy. He's wild, right? But I'm saying that pseudo package that he has is what the conscious community has, and that's what got us to get away from Christianity. Now, when you get out of Christianity, you're gonna go one of two ways. You can go super pseudo, or you're going to try to go historical African context with Dr. Ben. Pick up the Dr. Ben. Okay.
Shout out to Dr. Ben.
You can now find his work in the museum. Okay. It's there now. You can see it. Got a picture of it. It's there. And Diop's and them. Like Diop's and not Diop's, but Dr. Ben, John Jackson. They the atheists. Hubert Harris. They the atheists.
Right.
Right. So why are you talking crazy about the atheists? Now let's talk about the atheist thing real quick as we move in. First of all, the term atheist, they have placed a stigma on it. If you go back to Greece, they were simply saying that those who are actually presenting information that is not of Greece, or those who are adverse to the Greek government. If you read in Diop's book, he talks about that, right? He talks about that very thing, how they Socrates, Aristotle, and they was enslaving them, or even murdering them, or kicking them out from for trying to give natural explanations for things. So that's why they was calling people atheists, because they was going against the state-sponsored religion. So last time I checked, African Americans, based off of the long history of enslavement through the banner of Christianity, okay, should be going against the state-sponsored religion and learn some of your own custom and traditions, or just do like continental Africans do. They mix it all together. Well, how can you do that? Well, it's all made up. So you're supposed to make it up to benefit yourself. Right? If your God ain't looking like you, you've been super scammed.
I'm sorry. You talking about if your God ain't looking like you.
If your God look like somebody, you scammed out. Because listen, listen. I do not have a problem with people in their religion and their gods look like them. I start to have a problem when you say, my God looking like me, it don't matter. It actually matters.
It does matter. Absolutely.
For 5,000 years, when people start making depictions of their deities, they look like them. If you're in a situation and your deity don't look like you, that's a red flag. It's something wrong here. So if Jesus Christ ain't looking like an African American, then you tripping. I'm not mad at you, Christian. I'm just saying, don't say it don't matter. Right? Because last time I checked the book of Genesis, it tell you. It say God made man in his image and after his likeness. So if you're thinking that Jesus Christ is God, then why ain't you in his image and after his likeness then? It makes no sense.
Right.
So yeah, for me, that I'm not gonna sit up here and I don't believe in no religion. All religion is false. All religion is true. It's based off of who's saying it. It's based off the region. So I get that, but it basically is a philosophical system with poetry, with ideals, with morale systems, all that. But I just want everybody to know you can do all that and not have a deity. Don't need God to have a moral system.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's
But
a
they
fact.
don't. Yeah, your man Wesely all up on that. We get the morality out of Christianity. Yeah, so it's been several debates
Huff
going
said
on
that.
now.
Huff said that.
Huff said it. There's a channel. I can't even think of the name of the channel. They just had two more debates because the Christians are riding high right now. And I seen half of what Wesley presentation was. I thought he did a good job on that.
Who you
I
talking about,
did.
Dr. Wesley Muhammad, or you
Yeah,
talking
Wesley
about
did it.
Wesley
Wesley
Huff?
Muhammad did a good job, pretty good job on that. But there's other channels that's having these debates. I would say like the Harley Initiated. That's a big channel, and they have these debates. Part 1 and part 2 is Christianity, white man's religion, and they beating people half to death. They beating the so-called well. First of all, the Pan-Africans. They calling people Pan-Africans. It's not Pan-Africans. That's very disrespectful. It's to the point where we don't even know it was disrespect. We don't even understand what disrespect is. They bringing Native Americans on talking crazy. So if a Native American say to you that I can go back 17 generations, said that to Tazariak, right? Tazariak, they got the wild 12 tribe chart. I like the Native Americans is part of the Israel bananas.
Okay.
But the Native Americans say I can go back 17 generations. You can't go back 4. That's disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying? It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. So if you say something back to them, then what?
Right.
See? Say something back to them. Then you bend it. And so I'm saying it's not fair. And the word atheist has stigma attached to it, and it's cultural. So I barely like to say it. I'd rather people find out for themselves. I want them to know how I think. Right. I heard Neil deGrasse say that. I'd rather people just see how I think about what we talking about, because the stigma. And so there's a stigma on snakes. That stigma is clearly in the Bible, where Nakash, which is the serpent, okay, lies, quote unquote, lies to Eve, okay, and they take the fruit, the apple, which was the knowledge, which is crazy to me, okay, and all of a sudden their eyes is open, they become as God. Behold, right?
We gotta, Ankh, you know what we gotta get back to? We gotta get back to our Sunday school classes. That was fun.
That
Remember
was
we used to do, and I think I still have some of them. I gotta go back and look. I think I have some of them on my old computer. Go back and look at some of those.
I
and
think
upload
they took
some
that
of those.
channel, didn't they?
Yeah, the channel was gone, but I downloaded some of the videos.
We had like
I downloaded some of the videos.
Yeah, 100,000 views. People don't know we've been around this rodeo, bro. They don't even know.
They don't even know.
Yeah,
but show me the clips that you wanted to show me. You said there was some clips that you wanted to show and discuss. So you have the floor. Show me some of these clips from the Billy Carson West Huff debate.
All right, we're on the Billy Carson West Huff. All right, let's see. Where do we want to start with it? Let's start with the. All right, let's see what this is. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can share the screen. It's God or man. Let's see.
Dr. Wesley Muhammad talked about this one too.
Oh well, I didn't hear his thing, but I know he be slick with it. You already know he gonna say that.
I say, yeah, oh yeah, Dr. Wesley Muhammad was like, yeah, God or man. Dr. Wesley Muhammad. Here we go. There we go.
All right, let's see.
Agree with that. I just see if I have all these texts out, there's a lot of different information. You can see there's a lot of them copied word for word into the biblical text.
But what's the word for word?
In your version of what you believe in, you keep saying that God's a he.
Yep.
And so where do you get that from?
Well, throughout both the Hebrew Old Testament and the Greek New Testament, you have the masculine singular pronoun used for God.
And why is God a man? Where's the evidence of this?
Well, God isn't a man. See, within historical Christianity, we don't believe that God has a gender. However, the way that he has decided to reveal himself is through the masculine plural, and then ultimately by becoming a human in the person of Jesus Christ. So we don't believe that God has a gender. In fact, the fact that God creates humanity in his image and he creates them male and female, those are two aspects of the image of God.
No, go ahead. Keep playing them. Keep playing them. Let him finish the sentence.
And so that's the completeness. So historical Christianity has never argued that God is gendered. Jesus is gendered in the sense that during the incarnation, he becomes a human man, but he's still fully man and fully God. But God is spirit. And right, as the scripture says, we worship him in spirit and in truth. But nobody's arguing that.
Let me ask you a question. Did Billy clap back on this, Ankh?
Yeah, he was trying, but see, that's mumble jumble for me. Because my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great-grandmother, they seen all the pictures of God being a man. They see the word he, when they sat down, read their Bible and got their little tea early in the morning, they read God was a man. When they see Jesus walking on earth as a man, they think God is a man. So you hit us with the technicality of a masculine, feminine, such and such, blase, blase. Yeah, that you learn that in theology school. We wasn't learning that in the church.
Right. Not in it. Yeah, exactly. Not at all.
We thought Jesus was a man. Now he's a man, but he ain't a man, but he is a man, but he's not a man. He came in a man. God came in the person of a man, but he really wasn't a man. That's double talk. Stop it. So what's going on here? You would have to go to theology school. Listen to what I'm saying. If you get to theology school, they're going to talk about that setup like that.
And it sounds like he did.
Yes, that's fine. But we're saying that would have been nice to know when we sat down in Sunday school, when we was learning Christianity, when we was 7 years old and all that. Well, God's really not a man. It's the such and such and such and such and such and such. And let's look it up. That would have been dope. But that's not how we got that. My great grandmother and them died thinking that God was a man. Right? It tell you, it say that man was made first, and out of the rib of man came the woman. Am I making this up?
No, you ain't making it up.
There's a hierarchy there. There's God the man, then there's the man, and then there's the woman. And then she's supposed to be the mother of all living. How's her name the mother of all living, and she wasn't the first one living? She definitely wasn't the first human living. So it's wild. Billy is simply trying to show that basically that's how we learned it. And we fought that. And we were saying God was a woman. We moved through that phase.
Yeah, we did.
And then we wanted to balance out. Then we realized we need to have a balance.
We did go from, remember, it was God was the man, then God was a woman.
God was a woman.
Then it was God was a neuter noun. Remember, it's a neuter noun. It's like, let's balance it out.
Let's balance it out.
Oh my
Let's
gosh,
knock it off. So yeah, it should be a balance there, because you have humans watching the story play out. And humans can be influenced. Okay, so yeah. So if you want to say he won that point, yeah, but right, there's a group of African Americans who ancestrally went through slavery. For most of us went to biblical study, and we was never told that. It would have been nice to know. So we don't got that version of Christianity that he's talking about. We don't have that.
No.
Now we can talk about it. You got a Wesely Muhammad who will bring theological sources and all that. We can talk about Garfield to break it all down, but that's not the Christianity we learned. The Christianity we learned, because I remember, I'm not listening to nobody, Dr. Man. I remember Fulton Avenue, Fulton Baptist Church. You know where that church is, right?
I know where that church is.
I know. Home. Fulton Baptist Church was my church home. And my great grandmother, right? We called a hack. People don't know what a hack is. That's the pre-Uber.
That is pre-Uber. My father used to hack down in Mondawmin outside the supermarket.
A lot of black people lost a lot of money with the Uber, boy.
Yes.
Boy, if they could have thought about that thing and really put that technology to it, yo, they had something, yo.
Yeah, they sure did.
My goodness.
We used to have the hack line. We used to have a line that you call like it's like a taxi cab.
Get money. Yeah, the hack was the pre-Uber.
Yeah, it was.
It was Uber before Uber.
Yeah.
So, man, Sunday she take me. I catch that hack from my house, man. My mother dropped me off every weekend, and I go to church. I sit down and I look at that daggone that painting behind the preacher head with the angels all white, God all white. I'm like, stained windows in the church, all white. I'm saying, I never could actually connect. I was like, why? I was saying, why is they white and everybody here is black?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
At a young age, I'm like, So that kind of kept me from going full blown. Right? So my point is, the way we learned it was the way he's trying to talk about it. This guy here, Wes, is trying to act like we got a theological, super high level doctorate degree in Christianity. Stop it. Stop it. So no, Christianity did not start amongst Europeans. It started amongst people in Judea, Palestine. Christianity is a Jewish sect. So Jesus, right, or Yahshua would have been Jewish or Hebrew. That's what he was. He would have followed the Hebrew traditions and customs. Christianity broke away. I'm gonna say it again. It was a Jewish sect. Okay, and it broke away. Then you started getting to, by the time you get to 300, 325 and all that, when you get in those, then they start to put together the doctrine for real, right? You got certain church fathers in North Africa, right? They borrowing from the Greek Platonism, Plato, and they use the aspects of that, like the logos. That's Greek, right? They write the New Testament in Kohan Greek. We understand that language acts as a transmitter of cultural ideas.
Absolutely.
All right. And so, and you see the change. So we see that it is Hebrew people writing the text, but they're second and third educated Hebrews in Greek language and tradition. Okay. So, man, we understand all that. West and all the apologetics Christians, we got all that damn pan. You can't trick us. You mightn't get him because he's so focused. Billy's so focused on being pseudo, where the Anunnaki become the aliens. Feel me? So I would ask you this question, though, Doc. What's the difference between the Anunnaki and the Elohim?
Oh my gosh. You said what's the difference? The difference between the Anunnaki and Elohim? In my opinion, it's all made up. It's myth. It's mythological. That's what I was thinking just now. What do you think?
About 3,000 years, that's the difference.
You talking time. When you just said what's the difference, I'm like, it's all made up.
Time. Yeah, it's all made up, but it's time.
But you said it's time. That's what you wanted to hear.
Time.
I'm like, it's all made up.
So when you go into Barnes and Nobles and you want to read about the Elohim, you will go in the mythology section.
Yeah, it's
my fault. You want to read about the Anunnaki, you'll go into the mythology section.
That's why I said it's all mythological, in my opinion.
Watch this. But if you want to read about the Elohim, you will go in the religious section. The question is, why is that?
But it's all the same to me, though, Ankh.
Of course, but watch this. There's a reason for that.
Okay.
If the tradition is not a living tradition, meaning people are no longer practicing it, it's relegated to mythology. If you're still practicing it, right, then they call it religion.
See the game? I see the game.
That'd be nice to know now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I see the game.
Because I'm sitting up there saying y'all figured out a way to super scam now.
I see the game now. I see what you're saying. When I say it's all mythological, you like, nah. I mean, it is, but you're like, nah.
It is, but that's not how they putting it together.
Okay, I'm with you.
So we need to understand all of this so we don't come out there like Billy. Billy could have just attacked them on, playing stuff, but he trying to play the game. And this guy right here is playing the game at the highest level. I like to see somebody like Wesely have a conversation with him, or Garfield have a conversation with him. That's
I would love. Oh yeah, I was going to reach out to Dr. Wesely Muhammad to see if he was even interested in having a conversation with him.
Of course he would. That's what he do. He ain't gonna mess. Wesely ain't gonna mess with the internet dudes no more, man. He did. He came. He conquered. He ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? He don't respect that. He won't go against him. It makes sense. He has a doctor. Doctors should talk to doctors.
So you said, you said, Dr. Wesely.
Him and Garfield put that work on.
Yeah, Garfield or Dr. Wesely Muhammad, they would
work on.
Yeah, they would. They would.
And see, in our camp, we got the whole we got the whole package. We got, we deal with the theology, the origins of it, ancient traditions, the whole 9 yards. And it's science. We grounded in science. You ain't gonna be able to trick us. We call it out, right? And people, let's get to the next clip though.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Now this was a good one right here, Doc. Let me get this out of the way. This is a Tell me how funny this is.
All right.
Watch this. Okay. Um, doesn't matter what most Christians believe. All right, let's see. Here you go.
Believe that.
All right, hold on. This is Billy Angle. All right. All right. Let's go.
Believe that God is not masculine, that God is has both aspects.
I mean, it's irrelevant what the majority of Christians believe.
How many would
Yeah.
tell you, that God's not a man? They've never been taught this.
Well, I was taught it growing up. I was taught it in when I was a child, when I went to seminary, when I went to Bible college. I was taught it in graduate school. I would say I would say a few things to that. I would say, in one sense, it's irrelevant what the majority of Christians believe, because what historical biblical Christianity articulates is what they should believe. There are Christians who run around saying all sorts of things that are not in conformity to biblical, historical, Orthodox Christianity.
Right.
And they shouldn't believe that, because it's irrelevant. And so if one Christian believes something that is not in line with biblical Christianity, I mean, that's on them. So God is not gendered, but he does express through.
Wow, he just said it's irrelevant, Honk. It's irrelevant. I can't hear you. You're muted. You muted yourself.
Are we serious?
Right. He said
See,
it's
you can't
irrelevant.
play with that, having a conversation with me.
Right. It's
So
irrelevant.
now you're telling me that it's irrelevant what most Christians believe. Well, hell, that's what it is, ain't it? I thought that's what it was.
Right. Right.
Based off what you believe. Sorry, Wes. All of us didn't go to theology school.
Right.
Working on our doctorate and traveled the world. Come on, man. Like, you believe what your church believe.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to a Trinitarian church where you got the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, which was added later, ladies and gentlemen, just for the record, it's not no more older text, right? Added later, you believe that you believe is the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. These things make one. The craziest thing, I never could get that. You say there's one God. Look, one God. You got to do your hands. No, you got to say one God. You say, yeah. You say, yeah, the Father, the Son, the Holy. You say, well, that's three things. Not all the three things make one. You scamming.
And we used to sing that in church. It was a gospel song. God in three persons,
Right,
perfect Trinity.
See, if you'd have thought about it, you'd be like, but I thought they just called them pagans for having three gods.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't they just call them pagans? See, did they put the word on you? Remember I told you about value judgment? They put, hey, they pagans. Hey, watch this. Voodoo is evil.
Mm.
See the game? The snakes are evil. But I never finished that out. I talked about the snake in the book of Genesis and how it's derogatory. But when you come to Africa, when you come to the Nile Valley, then you see the great leadership, right? The Nitzobiti, or the Pharaoh, has a Uranus on his crown. It's not a negative thing. It's a symbol of power. See the difference? It's so these symbols can go back and forth in cultures, but mean different things.
Say, look, hold on. I gotta call Mama now, because Sister Chuchu said it was Blessed Trinity. She might be right. I thought we said perfect. I gotta call Mama. Mommy gonna say,
either way, they supposed to be monotheism. I don't even want to hear one word when you say mono. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Mommy gonna be like, "Are you seriously calling me? Why you?"
I know.
I'm about to. I hope she's still up.
Tell Mom to say what's up.
I am. I'm gonna say, Mommy, which one was it? Mommy might be asleep, Unc. It's past 8:30, honey.
She chilling.
Mommy, like, I ain't answering the phone.
Yeah, what's wrong with y'all? Messing with Unc. Messing with Unc. And she went to theology school, dude, too, don't she? She got a doctorate. What she got?
No, she got a master's. She has a master's. Yeah.
She knows she can come on here and have some fun.
Oh yeah, she would, and she tell you. Yeah, she know. Like you said, they teach them that history. Now I'm calling Auntie.
Yeah, she know.
Sister Juju, we going to get this squared away. She know. Sister Juju. Auntie didn't send me the voicemail. She bunning up with Onk. My uncle home, she running up, not answering the phone. But I thought it was, she said it's blessed Trinity. I thought it was perfect Trinity. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it straight, Sister Juju. We're gonna get it straight. But go ahead, show me the next clip, Unc.
It's still a Trinity though, and monotheism.
Oh my
The
goodness.
angels don't count. Listen, the Trinity don't count. All the angels don't count. You got angels flying around, coming back with all kind of power. But this one God, come on, man. Come on. It's this crazy thing. Yeah, that's why I can't do it, because it's not making sense. At certain points, it's not adding up, and it's just not making no sense, Doc. So I never could play that game like that.
No, with
That's
you.
it. Yeah, I can't play that game right there. All right, let's come to this next clip right here. Let's see what we got here. All right.
I'm about to fall asleep, man. Every time you pull up a clip, you be like, all right. You be like, all right, all right. We
What?
sitting
I
there
ain't
like
say
that.
no. All right.
Yes,
That time,
you
did
did.
it?
Yes, you did. Yes, you
All right, I
did.
said it once.
I'm
All
a-
right.
I'm gonna be like this on the broadcast in the view. Like, pull the clip up, man.
Wow. Is this the clip?
Goodness
All
God.
right, let's see what this
Dang.
say. Here we go. All right, let's go.
That human beings want to
Oh, pause it, Unc. Baba Greg said it's blessed Trinity. Okay, so Sister Juju was right. I thought it was perfect. My bad. Sister
What's the
Juju.
difference?
But he said it's blessed. He said it is blessed. He said it is. Here go Auntie. Auntie calling me back.
Oh, let's see if she got it
Auntie,
right.
we gonna see if Auntie got it right. Auntie, I got you. I'm live on the air with over 100 people. Got a quick question for you. I got you on speaker.
Till I say what's up. Tell Auntie I say what's up.
Unc said, tell you. He said, what's up?
Hey, Unc.
What's up, Miss Lady? How you
He said,
doing?
what's up, Miss Lady? How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Auntie, when we sing in church, you know how it says the song God in three persons. Do we say blessed Trinity or do we say perfect Trinity?
It's blessed Trinity.
Oh, well, Sister Juju was right. You said it's blessed Trinity?
Well,
all right, look, now mommy calling me back. Okay. All right, Auntie. Thank you. Love you.
okay, love you too.
Okay. All right.
Black boy, you done mess up.
I know I didn't messed up now. Mama, I got you. You live on the air with 100 people. How you, Ma, you there?
Yes.
Quick question. Auntie just answered it though. She just answered it.
Tell us
She
that
just
hi
cleared it up.
though.
Unc said to tell you. He said hi.
Hello there.
How you doing? How you? I ain't heard from you in a while. How you
Said, how
feeling?
you doing? He said he ain't hear from you in a while. He said, how you feeling, Mama?
Good. Tell him excellent.
Oh, he can hear you. 130 people can hear you.
She sound good too. Tell her she sound good.
He said you sound good too. He said you sound sharp. I was calling because remember the song in church that we sing God in three persons? God in three persons. And I thought it said perfect Trinity. But everybody, Sister Juju, Baba Gregory, even Auntie said it's blessed Trinity.
It is Trinity.
No, blessed or perfect, Ma.
Blessed Trinity.
That's what Aunt Shell just said. Yeah. So we didn't clear it up. I was dead wrong, everybody. Okay, Mama. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I was dead wrong. Auntie didn't said it. Mama
didn't
didn't
said it. You make that. But imagine that. You did that after what 10 years ago going to church and you messed
like
it up.
20,
Imagine
20
years later and having it all right.
Look, 20 years ago.
All right,
years ago.
Imagine 2,000 years ago you getting it all right. You don't get me, yo.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, play the clip.
All right, here we go.
All
right, let's see. What's this clip? All right. Oh no, go. Hold on. Let's see. All right.
And that human beings are going to take that and abuse it to put their boot on the neck of women for eons. It's pretty interesting. Also, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, I mean, so hold on. Let me speak to that because it is interesting that.
Quick, guys, I have to.
Yeah, sure.
And first of all, he cut him off. You see that?
Yeah, he did cut him off.
You find him on other shows talking about, yeah, Billy was cut me off your line, bro. You cut the man off. The man couldn't even finish his thought. Then the guy in the middle who's wild, right? He cut him off and he go on his tangent. He's not even on quote unquote West Side. That's the funny part about it. He the funniest guy in here. People don't even know that. The way he probably smoke a little bud, you know what I'm saying? Ride skateboards. He like that kind of dude. You know what I'm saying? Let's finish seeing what he was saying. Hold
on. If it was only for the Old Testament, I would have a hard time following a lot of stuff. For me, like we said, putting the boots on women and stuff, it was when Jesus came that when they were literally like, oh, if a woman, you can just accuse a female of having an affair and murder her, and that's like okay. That he was he just reminds me of anyone that basically challenged everything. And people would say that it didn't contradict what's in the Old Testament, but however people were interpreting it, they were believing that they were following the Bible to women can't do this, you stone them if they have an affair or if they're accused of having an affair. And Jesus, as we know the famous scene when they were about to stone her, he's like, he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone, basically saying no one's perfect. And was the first one that I know of that started like speaking to other tribes and other countries that people weren't supposed to, like they were so racist and prejudiced. And this is where my heart opened up, is like he stood for this love and this God that broke down all these barriers.
I'm gonna stop right there, Doc. So first of all, you have African cultures, indigenous cultures around the world that predate Christianity by 1,000 years. African people have a 350,000 year lead on the rest of humanity. We don't even leave Africa till around maybe somewhere between 120,000 to maybe 60,000 years ago. And so we develop custom and traditions over long periods of time. We study the evolution of religion. We know how the mind think. We talk about pinnacle point when we talking to your class, right? And how's that's when humans supposedly get cognitive thinking skills, imagining certain things, right? This starts in Africa, point blank. Absolutely. Right? We can show the body adornments and all this. We can see a long line of developing custom and tradition. So we wasn't waiting for Jesus to tell us how to treat women. We didn't need the New Testament to show us how you're supposed to treat your mother and your father, like he's saying, right? So that's called a theological truth right there that he's talking about. Okay, it's subjective, it's not objective.
Right.
If you look at it, objective is based in scientific data. Okay, scientific fact. Subjective is you can just say it.
Right, your feelings, your thoughts.
Right, you feel it. Right, so they beating up, Billy with subjective. It's very subjective. And if you can't see this conversation like that, you thinking he's really, really beating him up. He's actually not.
No, he's not.
He's not. I think he goes on. Let's see. When they try to act like, watch, hold on. I think this is very important. Hold on, let me get this. Let me see. All right. Okay. Let me come to this right here. All right, here we go. Let me switch over. Let's move to the next clip. You can track Christianity across nations, women agency. Let's go.
Book, The Rise of Christianity. He actually says that you can track empirically the agency of women across the ancient world by the movement of Christianity. So that, in other words, whenever an area became populated by Christians, we see a direct correlation with the privileges and treatments of women that expand in time when the surrounding culture largely didn't view women as being fully human. So I think we're always going to have abuses, but if there's one worldview that exists that gives agency to people and says that everybody has worth by nature of being just human, it's the Christian worldview. And that's where I think it's very different. So we can argue about why we think God should or shouldn't have revealed himself in his pronouns, but I think that's actually irrespective of the historical reality that we see within the impact of Christianity, particularly on the West, but around the world, and how it gives agency to the marginalized.
Did you hear what he just said, Ankh?
That's why I played the clip. It's funny. How you wouldn't say that?
That's right. That's why I said, oh man, did you just hear what he just said?
Talk to us, Doc. I'm listening.
Just sitting there, he was saying that the Christian worldview says that everyone has worth. That's not true. That's not historical Christianity. If that's the case, brother Ankh, then why did the Portuguese go into West Africa and do what they did? I mean, why are you and I here in America right now? If that is the historical Christian worldview. And then the last part he said, rewind it back because I don't want to misquote him. He said something about marginalized people. Go back
I
like
forgot
10
to
seconds.
send people name. Let's go. Want to start over?
No. I said that last 10 minutes that you played.
Last 10 minutes.
I mean,
It's
10
only
seconds, 10
daggone-
seconds, 10 seconds. I
Right
meant to
here?
say 10 seconds.
I see.
This way.
Himself in his pronouns, but I think that's actually irrespective of the historical reality that we see within the impact of Christianity, particularly on the West, but around the world, and how it gives agency to the marginalized.
It gives, he
Was
said
that
it
the
gives
part you wanted?
that part. I just wanted to make sure I was clear on what he said. He said it gives agency
Lying.
to the marginalized.
Cheating.
Yeah, he cheated. He cheated.
Cheating. So I don't know what Christianity that was.
Right. I
We
don't know
got
what
the
Christianity that was.
Christianity that came with the doctrine of discovery. And any pagan you find, Saustrian, whatever, you can enslave them and bring them to Christ.
Oh man.
I don't know what Christianity he's talking about, but that's not the see. Once again, I'm not listening to y'all. When y'all say Christianity is not the white man's, I'm saying we have a whiterized form of Christianity that was given to the slaves, AE colonialism, Portuguese, the Spaniards. Mistreatment of their own women was wild. So I'm just trying to figure out, when did this Christianity seep into the heads of human beings to stop them from the myth? Hell, you couldn't even get your own credit card in America till 1980. Women.
Right,
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Couldn't go see the doctor without our husband's permission. Couldn't vote. You know, couldn't get a mortgage, you know, from a bank if you were a woman at one point. You know, you couldn't get a mortgage.
We missed the angel. The angel came in, gave the message, and it went by out so zoom, and we missed it. We missed it. Crazy. That's my point. Like, what is he talking? See, he's not actually. You see how his face smile? Look, that's how you know he's scamming. Because he's smiling. Look. Yeah, come on, man. Come on, man. Listen,
man.
how he win that? Who was actually listening to this? One word.
Right.
He's making it up. It's subjective. The only way you can actually judge Christianity is based off of the people that adhere to Christianity.
Exactly. I remember Brother Benjamin Njai, he called me years ago and he said, Doc, how do you judge an ideology? And I said, based off the fruit that it bears. I look at the fruit that it bears. That's how I judge an ideology. What is the fruit? And like you said, the fruit that they bore, that was the Portuguese. And you saw what they brought. You know what I mean? You saw what they did.
A whole lot of enslavement.
Come on, man. Yeah, come on. Absolutely.
Cultural shift. See, Christianity represents a cultural shift of indigenous people. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk about religion, right? Religion. Hold on. This is interesting here. Talking about all the time. And what religion actually is, Doc? It's a range of social cultural systems. I'm looking this up, including designated behaviors and practices, morals, beliefs, worldviews, text. All right. Sanctified places, prophecies, ethics, organization, generally related to supernatural, transcendental, and spiritual elements. Although, watch this, there's no scholarly consensus over what precisely constitutes a daggone religion, y'all. You just add it and make it up. Different religions may or may not contain various elements ranging from, and you know this, Doc, because you've been in Africa several times, right? Ranging from divine, sacredness, faith, and supernatural beings, right? So you don't even have to have a God in your religion. You can just work with your ancestors.
Come on, that's what the Bamaliki do in Cameroon. When I went over there, everything was, they praised their ancestors.
But the Christians say you're going to hell if you do that. And then they crack jokes. Oh, you worshiping a man. That ain't Jesus a man? How does Jesus just disappear from being a man?
But let me tell you one thing that I remember you saying, and I remember you told me that, I think you said that you got it from Dr. John Henry Clark. Is one thing you said and used to echo this a lot, and it really resonated with me. And I said, where you get that from? He said, Dr. John Henry Clark. When Dr. John Henry Clark talked about religion, and he described it as a cultural container, right?
Yeah,
And said that it's really the deification of one culture,
that's what he
right?
said.
That really resonated with me, because you're right. It's like, instead of saying, don't do this, or you should do this, now it's God said. This deity said, the supernatural said, don't do this and don't do that. When it boils down, what it really boils down is to, like you said, it's culture.
Culture.
The that particular culture, that system's the right way of living, the wrong way of
Correct.
living. That's your
Correct.
culture, your way
Your
of life.
culture.
And so, like you said, that's what religion is. It's the deification of one's culture. It's a cultural container. And so I love when you used to say that a lot. And I love the definition that you read when they called it a cultural, social, and what else did they call it? You just had it pulled up.
A social cultural system, right? Including your behaviors, your morals, your beliefs, your
Love it.
worldviews,
Love it.
sacred
Love it.
texts. You know
Love
what
it.
I'm saying?
Love it.
Symbols,
Love
look,
it.
sacred texts, mythologies, narratives, holy places. Okay, all that help form the human mind. All that help connect you to your ancestry. That's why the Bible have what? What's the book of what? Genesis, right? What are they talking about? Genealogy. But they ain't talking about your grandmother. They ain't talking about your great grandfather. They ain't talking about the Africans in Pinnacle Point that actually saved humanity. They talking about Jesus Christ that saved humanity. When I can show you archaeology, I can show you geological events that verifies and proves that at Pinnacle Point at about 160, 70,000 years ago, that if they would have died out, humanity was done. Get that. I'm going to say this real slow for the slow people that's riding, just spooked out for a minute, because we ain't spooked out today. Y'all can go back to being spooked out when the show go off. Go to your favorite place and do what you got to do. What I'm telling you is that Africans, Homo sapiens sapien, ran across an ice age and forced them to migrate down to South Africa. If you look at the archaeological record, you don't find humans anywhere else during this time period. Okay? Almost died out. These particular Africans find food. They're the first shellfish eaters. Right? They're timing the tides. They're painting themselves with iron ochre. Some say maybe to tides sometimes can coalesce with the women's menstrual cycle. Okay, we know the effect that the moon has. They may have developed like a moon calendar system to alert them, okay, that the tides are starting to come, right? Or the tides, we're at low tide now. Now we can go get the shellfish, essential for survivability. I always say it's about food, clothing, and shelter and protection of that. And so they provided that subsistence based off of eating certain grubs, right? And eating certain shellfish, and it allowed humanity to prosper. And they come back out of that, they split, they go to West Africa, they end up to the Nile Valley, right? They may go out through Ethiopia, they may go out through the Sinai Peninsula, and they populate planet Earth for that. Saved humanity. Okay? Then you get a bunch of half nitwits running 100 miles an hour, right, with their ungodly food. That's how John, because they're ungodly food with no spices on it, right? With intercontinental ships enslaving people. Come on, man. And that's not to say that you can't find slaves in different places, but we could always have conversations around that. We're simply saying that they brought a culture with them that said that their great God will save you, right? Because that's why he got to save you, though, Doc. I got to find that clip. Like Wes say. No, Wes didn't say it. I forget Damon Richards said it. Damon Richards said that the Africans were sinners. They wasn't sinners until y'all came with that word.
Exactly.
Look, show us our mythology, right? When they say that we came into the world as sinners. We don't say that. We don't say that. So you're not a sinner until they tell you you're a sinner. So maybe the Christians are the original sinners. The Christian God born them into the world sinful. That the African God didn't born African people into the world as being evil and corrupt. You feel me? So it's a mind, it's a psychological system, and you would have to ask yourself. I always say this, Doc. You learn a lot about a people by studying a God.
Facts.
If you got a God that's gonna wipe everybody out after you made everybody, after you supposed to know everything and kill everybody, you got a wild God. See, your God actually represents the personality of the person that wrote that story about the God. It's got to be going through your mind to write it, right?
Oh, that's a fact.
You can look at their behavior. Their behavior actually mimics their God. And it's very interesting to me. So yes, the Old Testament is the God, right? Jesus Christ is supposedly the Son of God, right? And like we always say, it's a death cult. Let me just call it what it is. We were talking about this the other day in the server. Pick up the Marcus. He first one to say it. You know, I've been saying there's a male warrior homosexual card. I don't want to do that. Right? But it's all disciples and not a woman around. Let me stop. So, but honestly speaking, though, right? It's a death, it's based around death and dying. Right? And it right?
Yeah.
Am I making this up?
No, you're not making it up on.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, why is that? Because some of the oldest traditions had to do with sacrificing, whether it be sacrificing humans, right? So you go from sacrificing humans, you can go to Nubia. Okay. And you can find when the king dies, they bury the subjects. And I'm gonna tell you, that's how you can find the oldest root of that particular thing. When the kings bury the subjects with the quote unquote subjects, that would be right. I don't want to speak in absolutes, but that would be the oldest part of that tradition. Okay. And they call it retainer sacrifices in Egypt. But the tradition in Nubia is older, right? And they did the retainer sacrifice in Egypt in the first dynasty, then they cut it out. So you go from sacrificing human beings to sacrificing humans. Now watch this. This is why Christianity spread, to acting like you sacrifice somebody.
Oh, God.
Christian got the easy religion. Now you ain't got to really kill nobody. That's why it spread in Africa so fast. That's why it spread in Egypt so fast. It went through breakneck speed. Because now you ain't got to buy no sacrifice. You ain't got to kill nobody.
No.
And all you got to say after you done messed up everybody, all you got to say is,
God forgive me. God forgive me. God forgive me.
That's a serious, that's a 2024 religion right there for you, bro.
All right.
You mean I ain't got to spend no money? Wait a minute, you mean I ain't got to sacrifice nothing? I ain't got to spend no money to buy the sacrifice? All I got to do is say, I believe in Christ. Just give me that. You're right. That's how it works. So Christianity was really palatable, right? But it took from older traditions, right? Man's ancient religions of sacrificing. It's the same thing. That's why we talk about the blood of Christ. Okay. And communion. And communion. What are you doing? You're doing ritual cannibalism. I'm gonna call it what it is. You're eating the flesh of Christ and drinking his blood.
That is cannibalistic. Go ahead.
Ritual. I said ritualistic.
Ritualistic.
But it's a ritual around eating the flesh of a man.
Exactly.
It's ritual. It don't even register right there.
It's ritualistic cannibalism.
Symbolic.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Right?
Symbolic.
And then they talk crazy about so for me, as we really go down this journey of understanding religion and what it is, you got to study the ancient religions. Okay, so they do the ritual sack, they eat the blood of Christ and all that, and then he died. God so loved the world
that he gave his only begotten son.
That he killed his only begotten son.
I'm done. I'm not doing this with you. I'm getting ready to go to bed.
It hit different.
Ma, if you watch it, Ma, I'm not like this, mommy. It's not me. It's all.
That's like me saying, "Hey, son, man, I love the world so much, yo. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a song." Gonna look like what?
Oh my God.
All right, man, we can stop, man. That's funny.
Oh my gosh, dog. I ain't fooling with you, Bobby. My aunt, man, might be watching. You gonna get
man. Look, I'm having fun. Look, you can't get mad at me, auntie. Don't hate me. Don't hate the game. Don't hate me.
You gonna get mad.
I just want y'all to. I'm not attacking your actual belief, right? I'm actually showing you how it was constructed and informed,
right?
And I mean that's because that's what Wes said. Wes said we need to know these types of things, so I'm just giving it all away to you. Okay, So, hey, what you believe is what you believe, okay? And but the reality is we got to be able to stand up for our people, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, we got to be able to stand up for our people, man, and big up the Baba. I know he in there somewhere. Where he at?
Baba in there, Baba. What's
Baba, man, where he at?
Baba, I mean, you in there, Baba, I
Where the
mean.
Baba, I mean?
Hey, Baba, I mean that.
Teacher, what's up with you?
Let me drop a bomb for you though, Ankh. He was off the chain tonight. He was in rare
Yeah,
form
man,
tonight.
some
He was gonna bring that heat. When it was
Shut
a
them up.
religious debate, I was like, okay, I need to call the God Killer. I said, I need to call, and I already knew you saw
Check
the
'em
debate.
out.
I already knew you saw it. I'm like, oh,
Watch
did you
all
see
of
it?
it.
You was like, yeah, I seen the whole thing. I even went live and already did a review on it. So I had to call the God Killer. So Ankh, I thank you. I know you was out with your son and shout
Yeah,
out to your son. You say he
man,
just
he
got a
hit that
91.
91 in that physics exam. I was like,
Right.
oh,
Killed the
I said,
physics
I can't even help
exam.
you with your homework, bro.
I can't help him either. Physics is not my forte.
Yeah, it's
I was
hard,
like,
but I like it. I was
I
like,
don't.
huh?
No, I didn't. I struggled in physics 205 with forces, understanding like the forces and frictions, and looking at the vectors and the projectiles. I was like, physics 206, I was cool with because it focused on resistance and voltage and current and those things. So physics 206 cool, but physics 205 you can can't that. If I launch a projectile, no. I wasn't there. That wasn't my strong suit. So shout out to your son, Ankh. You guys are doing a marvelous job raising
I got
him.
shout out
And
for my daughter.
yeah, she's
She's
getting
in
she's in
pre-med,
medical school. She's a pre-med.
pre-med.
Pre-med. Okay. So she's in pre-med. Yeah.
Big up to my other daughter. She should be finishing. She play basketball.
Yeah, and then
Right.
your two sons graduated.
They graduating, they teaching.
They
So
teaching.
I would like to say this. How long we been around each other?
Oh my gosh, Ankh.
Mm,
Over 10 years.
mm.
Over 10 years.
And it's, if I say blessing, they ain't gonna understand it.
I'm done. I'm done.
But listen, it's a blessing, right? When I say blessing, I mean it's good favor, it's good understanding on how to raise your kids.
Absolutely.
And so I always say mothers and fathers that do drugs have kids that do drugs. Right? Kids mimic what they see.
That's right.
If you got science magazines going around, Doc, you just go hard. That's all. I'm just gonna tell you. I be trying to save James. I be trying to save. I be like, no, leave him alone.
You try to
Like,
say,
what?
Jay.
He was like, what? I say, come on, man. You like, nah. We had a good conversation over them games and stuff. I mean, you did, them games is dangerous for them kids, man. They get attracted to it, yo. And they brilliance. The more brilliant they are, the more they're gonna stick right there, and it'll mess them all up, yo. My thing is that we got to show them the way. We got to show them examples. We show examples of literacy. We put value on literacy, high value on literacy.
That's right.
And your kids will see that high value on literacy. They will mimic that behavior.
That's right.
And if they don't, they'll have something to get back to if they get off the path.
Right.
I would like to end with that. I've seen you for years, and all our kids is going great.
They doing good
doing
stuff.
their own art designs, do sneakers, doing all that, their own business, whatever it is. They've been running the business for how long now?
Almost 10 years. Yep, almost 10 years.
See, right? Because that's the example we lay. So for all y'all pseudo parents, don't be over there talking about we Native Americans. Yeah, your kids running around with that foolery. Shoot.
Absolutely.
We need to get them next.
Who? Which ones? The Native Americans?
Indians. I call them the TikTok Indians.
Yeah, let's get them. We get some TikTok Indians. We got
some elders playing that game and faking us out too.
Yeah, who?
We got elders to do the same thing. They all got to get got. Hey, you can't leave them out. I got it. Don't worry about that. So, I got to say, and it's called 8 to 80 Blind, Crippled, and Crazy.
8 to 80 Blind, Crippled. Look.
I ain't gonna get if you 7 and talking pseudoism, I'm leave it alone. But as soon as you turn 8, I'm on you.
He said, I'm on you like white on rice.
If you're 80 years old and you still kicking that, like Walter Williams, I was on Walter head to the day he died. He enjoyed the conversation though. You know what I'm saying? Walter wasn't playing with me though.
No, he wasn't.
He was like, I'm not, and he don't let you talk.
Is Clyde still around?
Yeah, I called Clyde the other day. He was like, man, if I come over there, you gonna jump me. I ain't gonna jump you, Clyde.
Oh my
That's
God.
my man, Clyde Winters, man. Hey,
Oh
we got
my
a whole
God.
group of elders, man. But you know, we stand on their shoulders though. Whether they right or wrong or got some things wrong, we stand up a little bit higher. We can see more than they can see. You feel me?
Absolutely.
And I think we represent that, and I think you're doing a great job. Big up to your listening audience, man. Always show love. Big up to Tiff. She in there somewhere.
Man,
Tiff.
she in there somewhere. I
Tiff
saw
got to help me get
moderator.
that comic book together, that coloring book together. We still doing that, Miss Tiff.
All right, yeah. She can help you out with that. And I see we had the pseudo killers in here deep. Shout out to Sister Juju. I see Brother Kent in here, and all the listeners on the community. They're on the community of skeptics, Brother Unc. Which one is it?
We about to go live again too.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and do it at the show. You know, I'm getting ready to hit the sack.
I
But
know
I do
you
want to
is
thank
falling asleep.
everybody. I do want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. Family, before you get out of here, thumb up the video, thumb it up, thumb it up, thumb it up. Also, if you're watching, some people are watching on my platform, some people are watching on Community of Skeptics. Head on over to both of our platforms, right? If you're on one or the other, make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that whenever we go live, you will be notified. Family, I will not be live on Sunday at 7 p.m. I will be live 2 weeks from now, okay? Because I'm getting ready to take a much needed vacation. All right. So while I'm doing that, just get caught up on the discussions that I've been having. Brother Unc, do you have any closing words for the listening audience?
You know, I don't actually come to have an issue with the way you believe. I just have an issue when you cross over into science. It's all about critical thinking skills. And this is what I respect Dr. Mayat the most for. Most of our children that are in the juvenile system, 90% of them are illiterate. I think we can actually fight crime through literacy.
Mm-hmm.
My heart, I truly understand that.
Mm-hmm.
That the more literate you are, the more you get to see the world. And the more you see your world, the more you leave your world. And the more you leave your world, the more you expand your mind. And the world becomes a great place. Big up to Space Age Africans. Okay, big up to the Space Age Astronomy Club. Big up to Sister Juju and Brother Anthony Show. Space and Beyond, Galaxy and Beyond. Boy, I almost got that wrong. Juju would have hit me in the head. Damn. On Tuesdays, 10 o'clock. Powerful shows, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Document our channel, right? And you know how we do it around here, man. Well organized live, man. Defeats a disorganized truth.
Every time.
Every time.
Ooh wee.
Man,
Peace and Black excellence.